Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Ultimate Career Mode where we're taking control of Charlton Athletic for the third time. Now I'm not going to lie, the real life situation around Charlton at the moment is a little bit stressful, so here we are escaping from that real life stress and into the virtual world that is FIFA 18. Now don't forget, you can go and check out episode 1 and 2 if you missed them. The link will be in the description and potentially also on your screen right now. But here we go, here's the squad that we've built over the last 2 seasons. Unfortunately, we don't have the January transfers in, so we've still got players like Ricky Holmes, who to my memory actually had an opportunity, even in this save file, to go to Sheffield United. I think it was in January, the January where he would have left in real life. We've still got players like Marshall and Reeves in this sort of Premier League division who are kind of aging and going down a little bit. So our squad's kind of punching above its weight for the Premier League. We definitely need some, probably wingers mainly, because if you look, Tariq Fosu, he's 23 years old, but he hasn't been given his January update on this game, so we've had to sweat to get him up to 70. He's quite good to play with, but when you sim with him, he's not the best. Anyway, this is our squad. We've still got Lookman at the moment, who will be returning from loan, but here we go as we embark on our first season in the Premier League. And look at this, we are up in our rightful place with Chelsea, Liverpool, City, United, Newcastle, all the big teams, Arsenal, Spurs, whoever you want to mention there. We are in with the big boys, and I'm not going to lie, it's just going to be a pure objective of Premier League survival in any way, shape or form this season. So I don't expect to be winning a lot of games, but let's see what we can do in the transfer market. So Mark Marshall has agreed a pre-contract agreement with Scunthorpe United, who I believe have literally signed so many of our players in this particular save file. Also, Ben Reeves has left the club to Scunthorpe as well. I literally think of Scunthorpe. In fact, I'm going to check in a second how many ex-Charlton players are at Scunthorpe. Veta Kelly has gone to Fulham, having agreed with them. We couldn't arrange a contract with him. And also, we do have Socrates now in the club, a huge player. I don't know how we've managed to get him to the club, but we have, and he's going to go alongside Ezri Konsa, who's pretty much our highest rated player in the club at central defence. Ademola Lookman also leaves back to Everton. We may get him in. He had a bit of a cameo role last season, but he was okay when he did come in, so he's a decent player that we can look at bringing in once again. And look at this, the 86 rated Socrates in our club with the likes of Patrick Bauer, with the likes of Ezri Konsa. We're going to, at the moment, we're going to swap him for Chris Solly, then we're going to put Iorfa, who's naturally a right back, to right back, and Socrates and Konsa, an absolute formidable centre-back partnership there. Lewis Page and Da Silva need to get up in the ratings a little bit if they want to be my left-back this season. Harry Winks is in the club, Braithwaite as well at 79, Fred Friday, who's been great for us, and players who are young and raising in ratings. So, the European International Cup final. This was the pre-season tournament that we agreed to be a part of this season, and we have got to the final after beating teams like Celtic. Hellas Verona is our opponent in the final. A decent team. Zuccolini, Ciceres, then Zuccolini, speak his name and he will score. 15 minutes played and he has put Verona 1-0 up. How can we respond to this? Braithwaite, McGuinness. Oh, there we go. Braithwaite, say his name and he will score. Oh, I didn't say Lee Song-woo though. He's put them 2-1 up. Bonavaccia comes on for a rebound. McGuinness goes into the books. Forsakaski comes on. Viviani gets yellow carded. Someone's got to respond to this 2-1 loss. There we go. Braithwaite has put us on level terms, and we have won on penalties. 5-4. That is another lucky fixture that we've just witnessed there, and that's happened a few times in the Ultimate Career Mode lately, where we've just won on penalties or we've just done it by the skin of our teeth. But we have then won the pre-season tournament, and that is going to give us a decent bit of money, and I believe this is the email that tells us how much we got. We've got £2.2 million for that, which is actually, doesn't sound like a lot, but it is going to help us out a lot on trying to get some players in. Huge signing for Charlton, as you can see on the right hand side of your screen there. The very, very highly rated young 19-year-old at this point in the game, Ryan Sessegnon, has signed for us. He's 72 rated, only cost us 5.3 million and didn't want that much in terms of wages either. So he's going to slot in nicely in that left back position, where we're only at a 68 with Lewis Page and Jay Da Silva at the moment, and we may also be able to ship one of those young left backs out, probably Lewis Page, or we might keep him. We'll see what we do. But we have got Ryan Sessegnon in there for now, who is a fantastic new signing. It is also worth mentioning he can play left back or left wing as well, so we could potentially, you know, swap him for Tariq Fosu's position there, maybe stick Da Silva in. We've got a lot of versatility options for him, so that's good to see as well. Al Ittihad win the race for Ricky Holmes. We have sold the 32-year-old 63 rated left midfielder for 450,000 coins. He served us well both in real life and on the game. That first season, I think he was very, very prolific. But there we go. He's got his move, 450,000, a little bit of transfer cash and we say bye-bye to Ricky Holmes. Another player who we've lost is Lewis Page. I did say I might sell one of the left backs, and yeah, Lewis Page, the number 34, has gone to Cardiff City for 1.25 million. It wasn't a bad little deal when you think about it, and that again with Ricky Holmes money is near enough £2 million to go towards some new players before the Premier League campaign. And we're predicted to finish 19th, so I don't know quite who they've predicted to finish below us. Our key player they reckon is Socrates. I would definitely agree with that. Do Charlton Athletic have what it takes to beat the drop? I think so. And FC Rostov have also signed Jason Pearce from us for 1.4 million, 31 years old, and a decent little fee, not a bad return for the player. But now it's time to turn our attention to incoming transfers, hopefully, and try and bolster out our squad a little bit. And he has come home on a permanent basis, boys and girls. The new number 7, welcome back Ademola Lookman, who joins us in our first Premier League campaign in I think probably about 10 or 11 years in the game now. 2.15 million is all he cost, and he is considered a squad rotation player, so he doesn't even have high playing demands, so a very, very good squad player to have. We can certainly grow him as well, as he's still only 21 years old, and I'm looking forward to using Lookman permanently now for Charlton. First game back in the Premier League, and it is a home fixture at the Valley against Tottenham Hotspur, so this is going to be an incredible test against the likes of Dele Alli, Harry Kane, Christian Eriksen, Vertonghen, and all these kinds of players, as long as they're starting. But I'm not expecting any real result or any points at all from this. They've got a guy called Laxalt. I've never heard of him. Decent team though. You can see there Wanyama, Ali, Janssen. Not as many, you know, Kane's missing there. Fosu's actually put us 1-0 up. Wow, we could actually get a decent, maybe a point out of this. Eriksen comes on for Dele Alli, and I wasn't expecting anything. Janssen does actually equalise for them. He must have returned from his loan spell, Janssen, as I think it might actually end 1-1 as long as we can hang on to this. And it is a home point against Tottenham Hotspur on the first game back in the Premier League and the first game of the season. Not bad at all, but it's going to be difficult to press on from here, no doubt. And this is quite a big one as well. Dominic Solanki comes in from Liverpool on a 1-year loan. He's 76 rated. He has the same kind of physical stature as Josh McGuinness, but he's obviously a lot more clinical and a little bit more better, you know, just a little bit better with his feet. So Dominic Solanki comes in, very, very good striking option, especially considering that Fred Friday is currently out injured as well. Right, there we go. 1 hour left of the transfer deadline day. We've just cleared it, and as you can see at the top there, transfer deadline day has ended, which means we've got a solid squad. This is the confirmed squad that we're going into the season with. This is probably the best look at our starting 11, what we're going to go with. Braithwaite up front at 79, Solanki at 77 next to him, Samuelson and Fosu on the wings, probably in terms of numbers our weakest area rating wise on the field, but I still believe in these two players. Fosu's already got a couple of goals this season in the pre-season tournaments and that kind of stuff, and Samuelson is going to grow up hopefully up to a 75-ish by the end of the season, we hope. Winks is the captain this season at 78, Aribo alongside him at 74, Sessegnon at 72 at left back. I imagine him to go up to, I don't know, maybe even a 75 or 76 by the end of the season. Konsa at 79 already at centre back next to Socrates, our star player at 86 rated, 31 years old, and Iorfa over there at right back. Phillips and Mika, I don't know who to use in goal really. I think probably Phillips can grow quicker, but Mika at the moment is 1 rating higher, so there we go. Bench wise at the moment we've got Sarr, Guiamara, Bonavaccia, Saglam, Lookman and Fred Friday, who's knackered after coming on, making a cameo appearance and also slightly injured, so let's actually swap him for McGuinness right now. And then in the reserves you can see all of these players that are going to be rotated throughout the season in our squad at some point or another, so I'm pretty happy with it. It's quite a small squad, and again going forward it's quite a weak squad for the Premier League, but I think if we can get some maybe pre-contract agreements in January and, you know, keep clear of injuries as well, this squad can definitely survive, maybe even finish sort of in the top, I don't know, 14 maybe. Let's see how it goes though. Let's skip now to January and see where we are. Right, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. Let's start with the good news, shall we? So we're here on the 2nd of January and look where we are in the league table. We are 10th, above Liverpool, above West Ham, above Newcastle, above Leicester, above Southampton. We are doing very, very well and holding our own in the league table. We've got 23 points and we're only 17 points from the 40-point mark, which is generally considered the safety margin. margin with, I think, 20 games to go. Yeah, look at that, 18 games played, 20 games still to get 17 points from. It's still possible that we could muck this up, but the team's getting better and better, so I don't really see how we are going to make any mistakes, really, from now until the end of the season. But the bad news now, have a look at my email inbox here. Josh McGuinness, Rolly Bonavaccia, Jan Guiamara, and Chris Solly all are considering their futures at Charlton Athletic. They all want to basically move in this transfer window. Not that these are real starters for me at this point, but they are really good bench players, squad players that bulk out our squad. It's quite a small squad here. We've only got sort of, what, 12 reserve players? And if we were to let 4 go, and also Jake Forster-Caskey was having a little whinge as well, but I've managed to give him a bit more game time. But we are maybe looking to lose 3, 4, even 5 players in this January transfer window. We only have £1 million in the bank, and we're not going to get a whole lot of money for some of these players that want out, Josh McGuinness and whatnot. So it's going to be a difficult sort of January transfer window if we do have to get forced down that route of, you know, making turnovers. So I don't know, hopefully we'll be able to hold on to some of our players, but there's only one way to find out. So last season's unbelievable January transfer window signing was from Borussia Dortmund, and it was Socrates, who we have obviously since signed, and he's been used in our Premier League squad this season. However, now it's Mario Götze's turn. As you can see there, we've agreed a pre-contract agreement with Mario Götze. He will join the team as soon as the transfer window opens. So he is en route to Charlton Athletic, and maybe we can get 1 or 2 more seasons out of this incredible Charlton squad that we've built. Maybe we'll be able to win the Premier League, maybe even the Champions League. But there we go, Götze, 27 years old, 84 rated, can play CM and CAM on his way to the Valley. However, some really bad news mid-January. As you can see down here, we've got 2 injuries. One is Samuelson, who broke his ankle. He's out for 7 weeks. And Joe Aribo's done a cruciate ligament. He's out for 4 months, and he's been really a mainstay in that central midfield position. We've now got Bonavaccia, Dijksteel, and Forster-Caskey to fill that role, none of which are anywhere really near Joe Aribo's 75 rating. So that's really disappointing, but I think we probably just about have the minerals to soldier on. Dijksteel might get a little bit more game time now. He's actually gone up to a 69 at the age of 23. Forster-Caskey and Bonavaccia, the obvious immediate replacements. And look at this, I did say earlier I was going to have a look at Scunthorpe's team to see how many Charlton players they have signed. Look at this, Billy Clark, Lee Novak as well in the strike force. If you go to midfield, they've also got Marshall, Croft, and Ben Reeves, so that's already 5. Then we go and they've got Harry Lennon, so that's 6. Then we go to the goalkeepers, oh, there actually isn't any goalkeepers, but there we go, they've got 6 of our players, which is just crazy. I don't know why they're raiding Charlton so much, and I wonder if the Charlton boys will help them get promoted this season to the Championship. And I did try and offer Chris Solly 2 separate contracts, both of which he refused because I apparently didn't offer him enough money, but he has now agreed to join Birmingham City in the summer, so that's a shame. Real club legend in Chris Solly, but our 2 right backs that we've got in Guiamara and Iorfa are both going to be better rated come next season than Chris Solly, who's kind of getting towards an age where his rating isn't going to go up anyway. So farewell, Chris Solly, mate. Thanks for all of your service to Charlton, but Birmingham City is your new destination. Final hour then of the January transfer deadline day, as always, and it actually wasn't anywhere near as catastrophic as I anticipated. So Solly is the only one we lost, and even him, we've got him for another half a season, and obviously then Mario Götze is coming in as well. Everyone else we managed to keep, so good times there. However, we do have those injuries to deal with, but I still think that in the second half of the season we can go on and finish maybe in the top 15 of the Premier League. Let's see how far we get. As you may know, I do always like to play at least 1 game per episode of the Ultimate Career Mode. We're on February the 29th, 2020. Charlton and Palace are in the same league, and that league is the Premier League. So why not try and upset them away from home? Let's play this game and try and get, I think, 30 points on the board at this point with about 27 games played in the Premier League. This is going to be an interesting one.
Our main feature today on EA TV, 2 great clubs. It's coming up for you live.
Crystal Palace having a fantastic season. They've already hit the 40 points mark, and they are up in 7th, below Manchester City and above Tottenham Hotspur, so they're having a fantastic season in the Premier League, and we are a little bit lower down than them, which is going to be hard to play these guys. So this is how Crystal Palace are lining up. As you can see, they've got Kai there Benteke, Loftus-Cheek, Milivojevic, Schlupp, some very, very strong players. Now let's have a look at Charlton's team. We've got Dylan Phillips in goal. At the back line, we do have Iorfa, Socrates, Konsa and Sessegnon. In the midfield, Harry Winks next to Bonavaccia. Samuelson and Saglam, sort of narrow wingers with Friday and Braithwaite up front. A very decent bench as well. Forster-Kaski, Fosu, Lookman, to name a few. Solanki on there as well. Let's try and get a win now against our arch nemesis, Crystal Palace. Good play here from Bonavaccia. He's kept the ball in play. He's going to try and run towards the centre of the pitch now. Plenty of space for him to run into. A slide tackle that was careless from whoever that was. He's going to lay it off here to Fred Friday. He's making a run through Bonavaccia. Oh, is he onside? He was onside, but they got a vital touch in the end, Crystal Palace. Oh, it's a good ball. Oh, that's got to be a goal. It's offside, I think, though, from silly Kai of all people. The guy who in real life has got a loan spell at the moment at Charlton. Just puts it in the back of the net against us, but the linesman raises his flag for us. That is a lucky escape. It wasn't, actually it was quite far offside, to be fair. So fair enough. Dylan Phillips was beaten, but it doesn't stand. Bonavaccia, great little roll. It's going to be passed over to Saglam. He's got Sessegnon overlapping him. Oh, he skipped the challenge from Kappa. Who's this running inside? It's going to be, I think, Fred Friday. It's actually Braithwaite. Braithwaite in the box now. What's he going to do? He lays it off to Bonavaccia. Has a shot. Oh, it's gone in the back of the net. And Bonavaccia seals the deal for Charlton Athletic in the first half. There we go. He runs over to the camera. And we have got the goal to take us 1-0 up at Crystal Palace. What a goal from the boy. We managed to get some more game time, the number 25. And that is why we kept him as well. Look, through the legs of, was that Milivojevic? Into the right in the top right hand corner there. Socrates to take this free kick here. I think it's pretty much going to be half time as soon as we get this up the pitch, and it is. Harry Winks with the final touch of the first half. 1-0 Charlton at half time. We're playing okay as long as we can shut up shop at the back and Dylan Phillips can keep the ball out of his net for onside goals, that is. We can win this game. Bonavaccia with the goal. Let's crack on in the second half. Tariq Fosu with his first touch of the game. Great interception. Bonavaccia over to Samuelson here. Samuelson dodges the tackle. He's going to play through Fred Friday. Fred Friday is through. He's going to score it. Oh, he's put it wide. Fred Friday. That was a golden opportunity to seal the deal for Charlton here. But look at that. He just drags it wide. It wasn't a bad shot. Just a little bit too much on it. And it just sails wide. Unlucky boy. Milivojevic has got the ball now. Plays it back to Jeffrey Schlupp, who's a very decent left-back / left midfielder. He's still got the ball. Back to Milivojevic. Inside to Loftus-Cheek. Forward to Alper Potuk, who's been decent this game for Crystal Palace. Lays it back to Loftus-Cheek. Out to the right wing to Klaus now. Klaus has got the ball. Inside to Potuk. Potuk's going to carry on going. He's got all the way through. Oh, and Dylan Phillips. Oh, he's put that. How has Potuk put that over there? How on earth has he put that over as they make a substitution? Milivojevic coming off for Uchan. But what a miss from that man there. Devastating. That was an open goal. We got the save with Phillips, but it wasn't quite enough to keep it out of the path of the oncoming Potuk again. Don't know if I'm saying his name right there, but what a miss. Come on, let's get the second goal. Samuelson to Braithwaite. Braithwaite to Tariq Fosu. Fosu with the shot. Braithwaite with the shot. And it has gone in. We've doubled our lead, boys. Crystal Palace, you're a bunch of mugs, mate. Let's go over to the camera again. The number 15 Braithwaite, who's had a very prolific season in front of goal, gets another one. And we have surely beaten Crystal Palace now away from home. This is very, very good stuff. Look at this. It was a nice little touch inside. Tariq Fosu couldn't get the shot off, but luckily it fell to Braithwaite, who is clinical in the box. 2-0. Harry Winks to put this in a dangerous area now. He has put it in there. Sessegnon, glancing save from the keeper. Sessegnon almost had, I think, his debut goal for Charlton there. Roy Hodgson looks a bit perplexed at the fact that his team are losing to their arch rivals away from home. But here we go. Let's carry on with this throw on. Tariq Fosu now put in a ball early. It's Samuelson who's going to win the header, but it just fizzles through and Crystal Palace get it away. Here comes Dominic Solanki now. Fast and very, very strong as well. A big unit. He's going all the way through here. He finds the ball and it's Iorfa. Oh, it's Iorfa who puts it in the back of the net. I'm not sure if he got the layback there or if it came off the Crystal Palace player. 3-0 Charlton though, and Dominic Solanki gets a goal in the most unlikely of circumstances. They do a little boogie, Samuelson and Braithwaite together with the goal scorer Iorfa. Charlton fans are elated with that. Look at this, the number 26 coming forward. Little pass to Braithwaite was flicked back inside to him, and a good finish from the big old right back puts us 3-0 up. Look at that, just past the keeper, bottom right hand corner. Lovely jubbly. Benteke now. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's hit the bar. I didn't even know what to say there because the ball just came in. I thought one of the defenders was going to clear it. As we do make a substitution now, Sessegnon comes off, Guillemara and Lookman come onto the pitch, and it is going to be a last-ditch effort for Lookman and Guillemara to make an impact on this game and get even more goals for us. Samuelsson's going to press this situation now. He's done very well in doing so. And Ademola Lookman, fresh off the bench, is through on goal. What's he going to do with it? He's going to shoot, and he's going to score. Ademola Lookman, on his homecoming season, does an aeroplane towards the corner flag, and he has scored against Crystal Palace, the young Charlton born and bred boy. Decent goal from Addy. Ball comes in from Palace. It's won by Klaus, clutched out the air by Dylan Phillips. Are we going to be able to get one more goal to embarrass them even further, Palace? 5-0 away from home. Lookman's got so much more pace than James Tompkins here. What are we going to do? Are we going to shoot or are we going to pass it? Oh, we went for the wrong option there. Should have tried to finish that for an Ademola Lookman brace, but I tried to pass it. And surely that's going to be full time now. Let's just wait for the final whistle. And there is the final whistle. 4-0 against Crystal Palace at their place. We have done very, very well at Selhurst Park there. Braithwaite had a very good game. Everyone had a very good game there. 4 goals from the boys. I don't think we've had a win as emphatic as that in the whole season. And of course, when I play, it does happen. So there we go. What a game to choose to play there. Braithwaite, 2 shots, 1 goal. Let's have a look at how the players rated. Braithwaite, man of the match. 8 for Ademola Lookman, the sub. 7.8 for Fosu. 9 for Samuelsson. 9.3 for Bonavaccia, not surprised. Harry Winks, 8.9. And the back line, 9s, 8s. And a 6 for Guillemara, who came off the bench and was quite quiet. 6 for Saglam as well. 7 and 8 for Friday and Sessegnon. And a very important 3 points today. Okay, boys and girls, last day of the season right now. We have an away match against West Ham, and it's the moment of truth to find out whether we survived in the Premier League and where we finished in the league table. You can see our most recent game there was a 2-2 home draw with Bournemouth. Not ideal, but not a bad result either. Let's go and have a look now where we finished in the league table. There we go. We finished 14th out of 20. We've got 43 points, a pretty terrible goal difference, but when we've had to win and dig out a result, we have 11 wins in the season, and we are way safe. We're 9 points safe with 1 game to go. West Ham at the moment, though, we have got an away game against them, and they are literally playing for survival, because if West Brom and Newcastle were to win, they would overtake West Ham, and if we were then to beat West Ham, they would go down. So winning the league this season was Manchester United. They cannot be caught, but there are 2 actually, Champions League places up for grabs. City, Arsenal, Spurs, Everton fighting for them. Even Watford and Palace, I think, could, under certain unrealistic circumstances, get top 4. But anyway, all that matters is that Charlton have survived. We've had a very, very good season. Let's go and play this final game now to see if we can end things with a win, really, and defeat West Ham at the Olympic Stadium. So there's our lineup. Braithwaite and Lookman up front, Fosu and Samuelsson out wide. They've actually gone straight away 1-0 up with Lanzini there. We've got a decent bench there. We can probably grab a goal this game, but whether we can defeat West Ham, I'm not so sure. But it doesn't matter because we've got Premier League status next year, so who cares? Sessegnon gets yellow carded in the 36th minute. No goals for Charlton so far. Holtby comes on for West Ham, and we haven't scored still. 70 minutes played. It might be a 2-0. There we go. Antonio has put them 2-0 up, and Lookman does get a consolation goal for us, so not the end of the world. And our final position then in the Barclays Premier League table, although it's not Barclays anymore, is it? The Premier League table is going to be 14th place, so yeah, pretty decent if you ask me. I just wanted survival. 17th I would have been delighted with, so 14th is an overachievement in some ways, but next season I am going to try and kick this squad on, because look at the ratings of some of these players right now. If we even swap this for our Solanki at the moment, who's actually a lone player, that's pretty much our strongest squad right there. Actually, Fosu for Saglam. There we go. So we've got 2 79 rated strikers, although 1 is on loan at the moment. We've got 2 decent wide sort of CAM players. Saglam and Samuelsson are highest rated at the moment. Winks and Aribo, 80 and 75 in midfield. Then we've got Konsa and Socrates, 80 and 86 there in centre defence. And we've got Iorfa and Sessegnon at left and right back. So it's a very, very good squad. Dylan Phillips is probably not quite good enough to be our keeper next year, but him and Mika have been decent between them. We do have Jan Mulder here though, who is 18 and 71 rated, so he's one to watch for the next episode. Make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe if you do want to see the 4th episode of Charlton in the Premier League, the Ultimate Career Mode. Surely we'll see Charlton go for at least a top 10 finish, and we've got Goetze coming in, players like that, so we could even really press that top sort of 8, maybe even top 6. But let's finally just have a look at our season stats. So Manchester United obviously did win the league. Chelsea, Manchester City and Arsenal did occupy the other Champions League spots. Going down to the Championship was unfortunately Fulham, Swansea and West Brom, Newcastle and of course West Ham, who beat us on the final day, narrowly missing out. If we move over here to the other competitions this season, we can look at the Emirates FA Cup, where Watford did beat Oxford, who beat us 5-0 in the final. Not overly surprising to see that. Moving on then to the Carabao Cup, it was Manchester United, league winners and Carabao Cup winners, so they've done a double. They beat Chelsea 1-0 in the final of that. If we move over to the Copa Europe, it was Manchester United who won that again, so essentially the treble, but not really, because the Copa Europe's literally just one match. If we move over to the Champions League, Manchester United could have made it the treble, but they did lose to Paris Saint-Germain 5-4 on penalties in the final. Very unlucky for them. And in terms of the Europa League, it was Tottenham Hotspur, if this actually loads, who beat AC Milan in the final of that, so decent for Spurs as well. So let's have a look now at our players, how they performed individually and the top scorers of the Premier League. In the Premier League then, Martin Braithwaite scored 13 goals and came 4th on the Golden Boot charts there. Nobody else for Charlton, but a lot of big players. He's up there with Hazard, Martial, Gabriel Jesus, so he's knocking around with the big boys. So very, very prolific season for Martin Braithwaite. Scored a lot of goals in other competitions as well. As far as assists go, we don't have anyone in the top echelons of this, but if we go down here, you can see that we do have Martin Braithwaite again charting, probably our star player of the season, 17th place with 5 assists. Clean sheets wise, we did rotate between Mika and Dylan Phillips throughout the season. They both came 19th and 20th, Phillips with 4, Mika with 3, so Phillips arguably had the slightly better season there. In terms of goals in the Premier League, Lookman came 2nd to Braithwaite with 8 goals in 23 appearances, decent. Then Winks, Solanki, Samuelson, Fosu, Forster-Caskey, and those guys down there all getting 1 each. Assist wise, it was Braithwaite obviously, then Samuelson, Forster-Caskey, Winks and Solanki, a couple of 2s and 1s down there. If we move to all competitions, over here in the squad hub, Braithwaite actually got 25 goals in all competitions, so 6 in the FA Cup, 6 in the European International Cup as well, which took his total to 25. 10 for Lookman, 5 for Solanki and Winks, 4 for Samuelson, 3 for Eeyore, for Fosu, 2 for Friday, Saglan, Forster-Caskey, Aribo, and McGuinness, Socrates, Bonavaccia both got 1 goal each in all competitions. If we go to assists then, it was Braithwaite and Winks who shared 6 assists between them, or 12 assists between them in 6 each, sorry. Samuelson with 5, Saglan with 4, Fosu and Forster-Caskey with 3, and then down there 2s and 1s for various players. Now I'm going to go by appearances here so you can check any player this season to see how they performed, what competitions they were involved with. And as we go down here, I just want to say thank you very much for watching and tuning in to the Ultimate Career Mode with Charlton once again. Make sure you leave a like on the video, make sure you subscribe as well, and also there will be some more FIFA videos at the end of this video that you can click on to enjoy them. So there you go, thanks for watching everyone, I'll see you next time, and sweet.